Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's edition of the Sunday Wire. I'm Patrick Henningsen, your host. We're streaming out live on Rumble, X, also on YouTube, Facebook Live, 21stcenturywire.com, of course, alternatecurrentradio.com, and on the audio streams. We'll be there live after the program on iTunes and Spotify. We've got a great show. This is episode 557 of this weekly Omnibus News and Analysis TV and radio program. We got some important things to unpack, some difficult things to unpack. I've got a lot of stuff I want to comment on based on what's happened, especially over the last week or so. And we'll take a break before Overdrive as usual, and we'll be inviting some of our teammates from Alternate Current Radio onto the stream to discuss some of these issues, but also to review some of the comments from our audience. We'll be pulling in some of the better comments from YouTube and Rumble during Overdrive. And again, we appreciate the engagement, participation. It's just been incredible last couple of weeks. So we're starting to see a absolute flood of comments on our streams as well. So we really appreciate you guys getting involved. Now, there's a few places that I want to focus on. One of them is, well, it's the title image for this program is right here. That's the situation right now. There is a famine that's happening in Gaza, and it's an engineered famine, and that's the problem. This has been engineered intentionally, purposefully by the Israelis, and unfortunately, I have to say, by the U.S. government, by the Trump administration, more specifically. And this is unexcusable. It's horrific in the extreme, and I don't really know what to say at this point. So that's where things are at right now, and we'll bring up on screen as well. I want to bring this up on screen because I think it's important. This is more or less where we're at in terms of the narrative and the narrative management. Let me bring this up. This explains a lot for some of you who might still be confused as to how this came about. But there it is. This was something I pulled off of one of the Instagram accounts. I forgot which Palestinian group it is. We'll read it through for you as well. I'll enlarge that too. So we've got a good frame in the screen. And this is what it says. And again, I think this is important to note because this is the whole story in a nutshell. If you're wondering why everyone is suddenly advocating for Gaza, yeah, it's been almost 2 years, just so you know, 21 months to be precise. If you're wondering why everyone's suddenly advocating for Gaza, including politicians who stayed silent as their own bombs fell, U.S., British, munitions specifically, it's because calling it a famine now is a lot safer than calling it a genocide before. Famine sounds like misfortune. Genocide, however, sounds like guilt. Famine lets them send aid without admitting harm. Oh, look at this terrible situation that's unfolded in Gaza. I mean, how did it possibly come to this? I'm feigning concern like Donald Trump does. It's terrible what's happening there, says Donald Trump. Yeah, no kidding. And you've had a hand in that. They continue here on this post. Grieve publicly without naming the perpetrators. And that's safe. You don't have to say the word Israel. You don't have to say Netanyahu. You don't have to say genocide. You don't have to get tied up in that controversial word. Appear human without being held accountable. Genocide demands the truth. It forces us to name the violence. It forces us to name who made it possible. And once you do that, you can't keep defending it. You can't keep pretending you didn't know. Famine preserves power. Genocide threatens it. And I'm saying that in the narrative sense. Those of you who watch this program, who listen to me read 21st Century Wire and so forth, you know exactly what we're talking about here. Anyway, I posted that on my X account. I think it's kind of important. So we put it up there. But that's literally where things are at right now, folks. Now, we've got a lot to say about a lot of things. I went to a press conference on Monday. This was for the Gaza Global Flotilla. This was in London at Palestine House. Incredible venue. If you're ever in London, you have a chance to visit this place. It's really beautiful. And it's in Holborn, too. It's right on the border of the city of London. Very strange location, and it's like you're stepping into some sort of Damascene Arab environment in the middle of London. It's so strange, but it's absolutely beautiful and enchanting, and it's the people that run it are wonderful people. But these were some of the people involved with the Global Flotilla direct action. There's Tiago from Brazil. He was on the McClain, which was apprehended by the IDF a month and a bit ago. We covered that, of course. And the Handela, looks like all the crew have been released and are home. Obviously, the boat and the aid get confiscated. The aid probably went to a pound shop in Tel Aviv or something. I'm sure it didn't make it to the Palestinians. That's the last thing the Israelis would like. But we had a chance to talk to Director of Human Rights Watch. That was very enlightening. I posted some of that interview on the UK Column News on Friday. And MEP from Dublin as well, Sinn Féin, talking about Ireland sanctions. Lynn Boylan, she was there. And a number of other committed activists from all around the world. So there are more boats coming, folks. According to this meeting that was held, dozens potentially of boats. So they're organizing. So the Israelis are going to be busy. So that's happening. And they had some of this on sale at Palestine House. I couldn't resist. I don't drink soda pop. Don't drink it anymore. But I did crack one of these open, and I did enjoy it. And it tasted pretty good. Gaza Cola. So it was pretty nice. So, yeah, they had quite a lot of that on ice up there. I grabbed a can. I didn't do a taste test. I won't drink Coca-Cola, full stop. So that's not happening. But Gaza Cola, you can buy this. If you're in the UK, you can buy it online. If you've got a store or a shop or you do events, you can buy this in bulk. Just go to Gaza Cola. They'll probably negotiate a bulk price with you if you want to deal with them direct. It's a nice product. Obviously, beautiful can. I mean, have a look at that. I mean, it's gorgeous. So, anyway, I'm going to bring on a video shortly, but this is the Sunday screening, the BB Files. That's up on our website right now, 21stcenturywire.com, the BB Files. That's our Sunday screening. And that's this week's pick, curated by the editorial team at 21st Century Wire. And there's a number of different people who are selecting films each week. We sort of take turns and rotate. We've got a new person on this this particular task of looking for interesting and engaging films. This is definitely one of those. This is like another view of Netanyahu, another look of Netanyahu. So that's up at 21wire.com. So I have to ask this question, on what planet is this acceptable? On what planet is this even allowable? I really can't believe we're even having this conversation. And a brave whistleblower stepped forward, Anthony Aguilar. He's American. We've got a video we'll share with you. He's American, and the smear campaign, I knew he was going to end up on Tucker Carlson within a couple of days, and of course he did. The smear campaign to discredit this guy, former Green Beret, U.S. serviceman, served his country 20 years in the military, and Green Beret, obviously somewhat, I would say, elite detachment. So he's out, and he's into the contracting world. And he was contracted by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. This is that sort of fake humanitarian outfit, this fraudulent company running out of Switzerland under investigation. Basically, one interview, which we played on the midweek, or I think also on Friday, he said the client was the IDF. So this thing was cooked up by the Israelis. They use U.S. contractors to make it look legitimate. It's full of CIA, USAID, and Mossad operatives providing humanitarian aid. What a scam. So he's doing the rounds on various podcasts, and what he's saying is damning. This is why the ADL and some of these other, I don't know if it was the ADL, but I think there's various Israeli accounts online that are making up stories about his criminal record, total fabrications. I retweeted some of that on my X account. There's so many different important things that he is revealing in these various interviews he's done. I think he's done about half a dozen in the last couple of days. And I pulled one podcast again. I retweeted this on X on my account. It's a smaller podcast, but he's doing the rounds. He looks authentic, looks legit, looks sincere. And here's what he had to say. We'll bring this up on screen. We'll bring that up on screen momentarily. We're just going to see if we can get a good audio feed for that. We'll work on that in a moment. So he's going basically into the details about what his role was and what he expected versus what actually happened in the end. And the discrepancy between these things are really incredible. So I presume he was a true believer when he took the assignment. That's just my guess, that he absolutely was on board with Israel and everything else. That's just my guess. So I'm thinking that's what the case is. But we'll see if we can hear this or not. Hold on. We'll come back to that clip. We've got some issues there. We'll have to pull that down. Nonetheless, we'll bring this back up on stage. And what he's describing here they're luring people to these they call it feeding sites. Okay, it's disgusting. They're luring people to these 4 feeding sites, and as they draw them away, they have to walk 10 kilometers to get a box of, scraps, and then they won't be able to get back home. So they route them into concentration camps, which have been set up. So the overall project here, as you can see, the overall engineering of this is pretty reprehensible, ladies and gentlemen. But the overall project here is the ethnic cleansing of the native Palestinian population in Gaza. So using these, what they're doing now is training, conditioning people, cutting off food, cutting off supplies, starving them, then luring them into rat runs, okay? And then routing them after they've collected the food. If they didn't get shot or tear gassed or stun grenaded, and they sort of herd them into some kind of a path to some sort of tent city, which has been set up where they could very likely be bombed by the Israelis. So, I mean, they're still killing people on an industrial scale. That's still happening. And I can't believe we're actually watching this. I mean, the sheer devastation, the amount of buildings that they've crushed, hundreds of thousands of homes been destroyed, 2/3 of the population of 2.5 million are displaced. Roughly 400,000 are dead or missing. 400,000. Okay? 400,000 dead or missing. And meanwhile, they're still pumping this out throughout the region. The Abraham Alliance, so trying to build a U.S. and Israeli NATO for the region and bring all these. Look, they've even got the terrorist Jolani in their lower left-hand corner with the beard. So they're trying to create this idea they're going to put together an Israeli-led NATO, or Israel-U.S.-led NATO in here. This, ladies and gentlemen, what you're looking at, the Abraham Accords becomes the Abraham Alliance. And the idea behind this is we're going to provide security for everybody, but we're going to throw the Palestinians under the bus. So be plenty of money, plenty of investment. Saudis developing the NEOM project, this futuristic city, which they want to link up with Israel. But then Israel becomes the logistical, energy, and technology hub, and ultimately the technology, big data, energy gatekeepers of the region. In other words, controlling U.S.-Israeli control of the new Middle East. That's what this is. Okay? And the conditions of membership are, do not say anything about the Palestinians. And by the way, wink, wink, nod, nod, we're in the process of getting rid of them. That's where things are at. You know, we don't make up the story. That's just the way it is. And no pushback from pretty much anybody other than just some disparate activists and people with a conscience internationally, but nothing of note politically. What's Trump busy doing? Starting nuclear war. That's kind of like what Trump's been busy doing. Pretty incredible, if you ask me. He made a threat recently. We'll see if we can bring this up on screen or not. 1 second. But Trump made a threat recently. Let me see if we can find this video. He basically said we're preparing for the war. And it's a little bit unhinged. Obviously, it's not the sort of thing we want to see. But he's reacting to tweets by Medvedev. Okay. If anybody knows Dmitry Medvedev by now, he is probably on a galactic level of troll. So think superpower trolling. That's what Medvedev does. And obviously, he is quite hardcore, but at the end of the day, he's not president. He is, I believe, the vice or deputy chair of the Russian National Security Council, thereabouts. He's not going to be president. It doesn't appear that way anyway. Not if he is, he hasn't fully rehabilitated yet. He was president briefly, if you remember, during Obama's end of Obama's first term, beginning of his second term. So Medvedev was there. Let's have a look at what Trump is saying here. I'm going to bring this up for you guys and listen closely, because this is quite something. This is the President of the United States, mind you. The President of the United States, completely unhinged. And we'll add this onto the screen right now. There he is. And never lost for words. I'm saying invoke the 25th. So here's Trump. Now, the problem with MAGA defenders on this, okay? And you guys know I gave Trump, we all gave Trump a chance because we believed what he said. So it's like, okay, yeah, world peace, no nuclear war. Let's give that a shot. Let's end the war in Ukraine. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. It hasn't ended that way. It's been a bit of a disaster. So here he is. U.S. presidents are supposed to be de-escalating, not escalating, especially with other nuclear powers. So here is Donald J. Trump, the 47th president of the United States. Here's what he's saying at the moment.
That if say to you that made you really mad.
Well, you just have to read what he said. He was talking about nuclear. When you talk about nuclear, we have to be prepared, and we're totally prepared.
Mr. President, that if say to you that made.
So you have to put this in perspective. MAGA defenders are saying, well, no, the Russians are threatening the U.S., so Trump is just threatening them back. No. The U.S. is killing Russians. The U.S. is providing the weapons and the SRI to kill Russians. It's just that they're getting Ukraine to do it, to pull the trigger. But effectively, these are U.S. operations. The United States is killing Russians. Russians are not killing Americans. So America is determined to use Ukraine as a cudgel. Even when Trump promised he would end this proxy war, NATO's proxy war against Russia and Ukraine, he would end it in 24 hours. Great campaign line. Obviously, it got him a lot of votes. He gets in office and does the opposite. Okay, fair enough. That means you're fair game for criticism. Sorry, MAGA. That's just the way it goes. So there's a lot of cope going on this. And Trump's completely unhinged. We'll see if we can find this this ridiculous tweet. I think here it is. Yeah, here we go. George Samueli commented on this. We'll bring that back. So take a look at this. So Trump says, I've just been informed that 20,000 Russian soldiers died this month in the ridiculous war in Ukraine. So he's saying ridiculous war. It's not my war, it's Biden's war. Da, 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 da. So he's saying, Trump here, that 20,000 Russian soldiers died. Really? Let's take a closer look at that statement. Yeah, 20,000 Russian soldiers died this month in Ukraine. And then he goes down to say Ukraine have lost approximately 8,000 soldiers since January 1st, 2025. Where is he getting this information? Because this is not what we're hearing. So that's like a 14-to-1 kill ratio. So 14 Russian soldiers are dying for every one Ukrainian soldier. I have a hard time believing that this is actually true. In fact, I don't believe it's true. This is absolute balderdash. So who's telling Trump all this stuff? So I don't get it. Is Blinken and Sullivan, are they back in the White House again? Are they briefing the president? Where are they getting these numbers from? The Atlantic Council? I mean, somebody help the president. He seems, Donald Trump's in trouble. He's struggling. Don't know what to say. This is so just make up the stuff. Just make it up and run with it. George Samueli saying, where's this intelligence coming from? The Mark Levine show? Good question. So it's framing it as, oh, we just want to break up this neighborhood fight between these Ukrainians and the Russians. We're not involved. We're an innocent party. We're the United States of America. Don't blame us. Don't blame me, says Trump. I didn't start this war. It's Biden's war. It's Biden's war. It never would have happened if I was president. In that same old line, how tired that one is. It's lost. It's kind of lost its novelty at this point. So there's Trump. So, instead of jousting about who's got the most nuclear readiness, why not do something civilized and just basically call the dogs off and accept reality? And that reality is Ukraine is not going to recover the territory that it's lost. As we've said from day one of this conflict, and covering it for 3.5 years, the longer it goes on, the more territory Ukraine's going to lose, the more men they're going to lose, and the bigger disaster it's going to be for the future of that country. Russia will do what it's going to do, full stop. It doesn't matter what the U.S. says. Doesn't matter what Germany says, what Britain says, what Mark Rutte, the Secretary General of NATO, says. It doesn't matter. Russia will execute its national security objectives because they are being threatened existentially by the West, who's using Ukraine as a cudgel. If America was in that exact position and their existential national security is being threatened, let's say China was working with Mexico, where they managed to get Texas to secede and the Chinese or the Russians were arming the Texans against Washington. That's an existential threat. Same exact situation in Ukraine. It's no different. The U.S. would probably deal with that problem with extreme prejudice in a very short space of time. And it wouldn't care really about civilian casualties. Not in the meticulous way Russia's attempting to avoid them, because it knows that if it has to govern over these territories in the future, it can't afford to inflict any civilian casualties. Hence, the number of civilian casualties in this conventional war since February 24th, 2022, is record low. It's the lowest for a conventional conflict of this scale. We're talking about the amount of arms that have been dropped, the type of countries that are involved in arming Ukraine, the volume of munitions, and so forth. And the number of civilian casualties is negligible. In fact, Ukraine is inflicting higher numbers of civilian casualties in Donbass and in Russia than Russia is in the whole of Ukraine. Okay? I don't make the numbers up. You can go by what's been reported to the United Nations. That's the fact of the matter. Yet we hear all this crazy rhetoric coming from virtue signaling Western politicians and, subtards like Donald Trump, who are just like making up the story, just whatever fits my narrative. I'm just going to make up some facts and stick that on my Truth Social account, and I'll push that out. Fox News will buy it. My supporters love me anyway. I could just lie through my teeth. Doesn't matter what I say. They still love me. They're going to vote for me. But I think Trump's hemorrhaging support on a pretty fundamental level because of some of this. So meanwhile, and we'll bring on to the stage, the Magic Man. Who's the Magic Man, you're going to ask? Well, we'll take a look. The Magic Man is here, Steve Witkoff. That's the Magic Man. That's the guy, the special envoy, Witkoff, to visit Moscow on Sunday. I'm sure they're waiting with bated breath in Moscow. Steve Witkoff, the Del Boy of diplomacy. This is what I've dubbed him. The Del Boy of diplomacy. If you ever watched that show, Only Fools and Horses, those of you in Britain know what I'm talking about. And some enterprising Americans who watch PBS might have seen it as well. The same PBS Trump's going to defund. It's the only time you get to see some of that British broadcasting classics on PBS. Witkoff sent to Moscow Sunday. The special envoy. He's got a deal or maybe a deal. He's going to go and meet. And he's going to chew the fat. He's not going to take any notes. He's going to come back and tell Donald Trump what the Russians said. He's going to give him an ultimatum. Maybe smoke a cigarette with Lavrov. Donald Trump's special envoy. This guy works for Israel. That's who he works for. Ultimately, Steve Witkoff only cares about Israel. And this is what we've come to learn, and I didn't know this before, but I did after a period of time, that this is a side hustle, this whole Russia thing for Witkoff. His main assignment is from Tel Aviv. He works for the Israelis. For all intents and purposes, this guy works for the Israelis. And that's ultimately what he cares about. So he is not going to achieve anything. He's not credible. He's not serious. He has no experience in the field. He is literally winging it, and he's just going through the motions. All he cares about is doing Israel's bidding. In other words, lying to the Palestinians, faking ceasefires, pretending there's going to be a deal or a ceasefire in Gaza, fooling the Iranians, preparing for a sneak attack. He's already done his job. He's earned his crust. He'll probably get a street named after him, like Robert Maxwell or James Jesus Angleton, somewhere in Tel Aviv. If he's really, really good at this, if he really does right for Israel, he'll get a street named after him in Jerusalem after Israel kicks all the Palestinians out, after they expel all the Arabs from East Jerusalem. Wickoff will get, maybe a memorial, maybe a street, maybe a bus station. Who knows? Maybe the new high-speed rail station, Steve Witkoff Terminal in Haifa or Tel Aviv, connecting with Neom. Who knows? Anything's possible. So the Magic Man said, well, I'm hoping he can have a breakthrough, says Matthew Whitaker, the U.S. ambassador to NATO, another one. But he's hoping that Witkoff's going to get a breakthrough after not getting anything for the last 7 months. Ladies and gentlemen, my best advice here, don't hold your breath. And more importantly, don't believe anything any of these people ever say. They're not credible. They're not serious. And they're not there to solve anything. Okay? They're there to pad the nests of the stakeholders that have sent them. This guy is a con artist of the highest level. This is why he is presiding over a string of debacles and failures and nearly helped to start World War III by faking negotiations with the Iranians while Israel's preparing a sneak attack. No credibility at all. The Russians aren't stupid. They know what he is. And he'll be lucky if he gets the time of day. Russia's just going to go through the motions. They're just going to go through the motions. They're like, oh, here he comes. Here comes Del Boy. Get the vodka out. Bring the girls. Bring the caviar. We'll keep him busy for a couple of days. And then he's going to leave, and we're going to get on and do our business. That's where things are at right now with Russia. And Trump, quite frankly, and the interests that are directing Trump, i.e. global capital, Wall Street and the City of London, they're going to get on and do their business. And their business is selling arms and making money on the stock market. And all those firms are just doing incredibly well right now. All these guys are getting rich like you can't believe on defense stocks because of this. Because there is no peace deals, you see. That's good for the defense industry. It's good. It's good for Witkoff. Keep the gravy train going. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a flying frappuccino about Palestinians, that's for sure, and even less about Ukrainians. Okay? This is all cannon fodder for property deals, defense stocks, private equity firms, and hedge funds. That's all. And maybe a mem coin. It's probably, whatever the next Trump rug pull mem coin scam is. Who knows? Maybe Witkoff will get a coin. The Witkoff coin. Steve coin. $, Steve, $. Steve W. How about that? Steve W. coin. You can use that to fund the next round of negotiations. You could just use a mem coin. Get everybody to, buy this new Steve W. coin for peace. Watch it shoot up in value, and then they can pull the rug. Maybe Javier Milei can get some of his Argentinian friends involved. Help to get, pump that coin up. I mean, we're joking about this stuff, folks, but this is kind of like what these people are doing. This is what they've been doing for the last 6 months. Unbelievable. I wish it weren't true. I wish I was joking. I wish this was parody, but it's not. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to go to Overdrive. When we come back, we'll bring some of our teammates on. We'll review some of these stories and much, much more. And more importantly, we'll find out who really knows what's going on, and that is our audience in the comment threads. That's where the real brain power is. We'll be showcasing some of the better comments. All this and more after the break. In the meantime, do enjoy the fantastic music of one of our great friends of the show, Red Rumble, and we'll be back in just a few.
For in the final analysis, we all inhabit this small planet, and we are all mortal.
Lately I've been watching the world gone mad. Brothers and sisters full to take a stand, to hate their fellow man, another man. Divide and conquer is the acronym plan. Distract the people, control the story. Don't believe your lying eyes, you know me. Stay in power no matter what. Play with the doomsday clock. Turn a blind eye and gamble your trust. Pushing us to turn to good. Corruption and lies. Truth is the crime, will turn to dust. Well-designed misery to keep you on edge, make you believe anything anyone says. Keep it left or right, not top to bottom. Accuse the victim, can't you see we got 'em? Stay in power no matter what. Playing with the doomsday clock. Turn a blind eye and gamble your trust. Pushing us to turn to dust. With captured rights, feudals like time will turn to dust. Industrialized brutality, commercialized cruelty, people as commodity, cheer on war atrocity, no accountability, perpetual impunity, always have an enemy to hell with all humanity. Stay in power no matter what. Play with the doomsday clock. Turn a blind eye and gamble your trust. Pushing us to turn to dust. Stay in power, cash in the stars. Play with the doomsday clock. Turn a blind eye and join the cause. Pushing us to turn to dust. An empire of lies, history rhymes will turn to dust. Digital inmates, scored on every move. Nowhere to hide, nothing to hold on to. Turn to dust, as we turn to dust, as we turn to dust.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sunday Wire, episode 557 of this weekly omnibus news analysis TV and radio program. Thank you for rejoining us. And as we were discussing some of the things that are happening right now, it's just unbelievable. And I could go into it. I wanted to go in a little bit of a deeper dive. One of the accounts that I really admire, Arnaud Bertrand, French. I think he's French or Belgium, but French, let's just say. And he posted something about Germany that was just unbelievable. It's from a journalist there. We might have a look at that later, but the level of despondency where you're not allowed to talk about things if you're in politics or journalism. Nobody in Germany wants to talk about the Nord Stream pipeline. Can you believe that? I mean, we're living in that time where it's verboten for investigative journalists in this country that's been directly affected by the biggest act of industrial sabotage of the modern era in Europe, and you're not allowed to talk about it. If you're in government or you're a journalist, it's no, can't talk about that. I mean, it's bad enough. Can't criticize Israel either, but like the Nord Stream, you're not allowed to posit any theories on it. Oh, and by the way, Germany is supposed to have done an investigation. They're supposed to have released the details of that. Where is it? We've been waiting a year and a half. Where is it? Where are the details of your Nord Stream investigation, Germany? Why are you sitting on it? Well, we know, because we've done the investigation. Just go to 21st Century Wire, top pin section, Nord Stream. Have a look. It's been up for a while. Oh, there's more coming. There's more coming on that. And we'll need your help to make that happen as well. So, again, we appreciate your support for this media network. Let me bring on some of our teammates from ACR onto the stage right now. Ruckus, host of the Daily Ruckus. Ruckus, how you doing?
I am well, Patrick. Thank you very much.
It's great to see you.
Unfortunately, I've been shipped out, as you can tell from the background here. Both me and Hesher are doing our tour of duty aboard the submersibles, as it were. So,
I see.
It is what it is.
Well, just, if you're in the Baltic Sea, have a look and just do some recon on the damage there with the Nord Stream. We're still looking for boots and other clues as to who might have done it. Let me bring Hesher up on stage as well. Bryan McClain, a.k.a. Hesher.
Good to be here, Patrick. Good to see you from down here in the Benthic trenches where the Nord Stream pipeline used to be. We're down here taking photos for you.
Yeah, I hope that's. I hope it's not too boring for you guys down there. To spend too much time in a pressurized submersible cabin like that.
Patrick,
can
you'll
do
notice
things to your mind.
Hesher has the porthole and I don't. There's a reason for that, because I was not appreciating the scenery. At first, I was afraid I was going to be running into sharks, but lo and behold, this is what we get to see outside the porthole of our particular submarine. So I decided to go with an office where I didn't have to see all that. But that's
the amazing thing about that photo, Ruckus, of course, is the hair manages to maintain its shape and hold while underwater. That, to me, that's some serious cutting edge space tech right there.
That's right. I think Elon Musk helped him out with that for sure. But yeah,
aqua tech. I think he's using Gavin Newsom's hair gel. That's what I think. I think that's a scandal. He's using the same hair gel as
new brand. Actually, it's called Aqua MAGA.
It's wind tunnel tested up to 200 miles per hour. So, guys, I mean, I don't know what to say other than MAGA is just, to me, losing so much credibility by the minute. But yet, there's this whole show and this song and dance going on. They've revitalized Russiagate, telling us all these things that we were saying, like, how many years ago? 9,
7, 8,
9, 8 years ago. We revealed it all.
Yeah, I can't believe people are talking about this like it's news. I had a friend walk up to me in town the other day and go, "Did you hear the bombshell Tulsi Gabbard just dropped?"
Tulsi.
I'm like, "Oh, pray tell, please tell me, what was it?" And it's like, "We're gonna get Obama, we're gonna lock him up." All these people. I'm just like, okay, I will definitely keep holding my breath for another 8 years.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's like, what the hell's going on? Well, how come Donald Trump's so aloof? Maybe it's because of this. I'm not sure.
Tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago.
1 second. There we are.
Party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention. Donald! The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling.
I just can't get over the fact that the hair has just been a disaster for like 30 years. It's just he hasn't been able to sort that out. I think he's sort of got a handle on it now, but it's just like, I don't know.
Also, the dude's not the best dancer. I had to say it.
So Epstein got done on state charges, but yet Pam Bondi and the DOJ say there's no scandal. And then Ghislaine Maxwell's just bought herself immunity without telling them a damn thing. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, I predict rather than seeing Obama go to jail, we're going to see Ghislaine out of jail. That may be the only accomplishment here.
Yep, and she's got a meeting with a deputy AG, who's actually the guy running it, not Bondi, and that's going to be in prison on August 11th at her prison. So when is August 11th? 1 week? Yeah, on next Monday. And yeah, and is she going to sing? She's not going to sing. No new songs. It's going to be oldies. She's going to sing oldies. And those oldies are going to get her immunity. And that's, folks, how it works, you see. That's how it works. And she'll be rewarded handsomely for her trouble.
Yeah,
you
and
know that's how it works.
Her experience in that jail, if she's even actually there, has been one of custom vegan meals and yoga classes, very similar to Jeffrey's first stint, where he actually wasn't really in jail. If you look at how he was treated in his first stint, it was pretty much he could come and go most of the time as he wanted. He had cops dressed up in suits, bringing him stuff, mounting TVs, taking him places. Like, in what world does that happen? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
In Jeff's world, that's where that happens. In Jeff's world. So, yeah, nothing to see here. There's nothing going on with Epstein. Trump's inability to intervene in a Holocaust. They have nothing on Trump, of course, and I'm sure. Because according to Trump, he didn't even know Epstein. He didn't even know him.
ABC begs to differ. Looks like they knew each other. I just watched it.
Yeah, they kind of did, and quite intimately, and for a very long time. And they shared private jets back and forth to Florida many, 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 many times. Many times. And wasn't Virginia Giuffre working for Trump before she was transferred to Epstein?
He just recently ran around railing how, like, Epstein stole, I think, her plus some other employee. They stole his employees from Mar-a-Lago from him or something like that.
Yeah. I guess that just happens normally, right? I mean...
Yeah, billionaire financier comes in and steals my hotel employees and my assistants. What?
Totally credible. Yeah, it just kind of all makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, I didn't want to believe that was the case, but I go by the actions, not the talk, not the rhetoric. And the actions are pretty incriminating, actually. And the lack of action by Trump, it's unbelievable. So does MAGA deserve to go to the wall over this? I mean, it's not just this, isn't it? It's the anti-war talk. He got the votes because Americans didn't want the wars. That's how he got the votes. And he promised he was going to do the Epstein case, and he promised he was going to release this, and he was going to do that, and he was going to do that. That's how we got the votes.
His appointees all promised that stuff too. We've shown those clips of like Bongino and Patel and all these people, Bondi talking about how important this is and how they're not going to give up on it. It's on my desk. Now it's just, oh, that guy, that's not real.
Patrick's right though. It's just one of many now. It's almost like every single promise that he's made, he's either completely 180'd on, or he's not been able to fulfill, or people are starting to wonder now exactly how is this possible. So he's running around saying he's going to deport how many ungodly numbers of illegals that are here. It's logistically unfeasible. You know what I mean? It's literally cannot be done. So, I mean, especially at the rate, I mean, what's happening now? Maybe people are calling in their local restaurant saying, hey, I saw an illegal working in the dish room, come get him. And that's about it. I mean, we've seen some spectacles taking place, some protests out in the LA area and all that fun stuff. But where's the actual, what is he doing? You know, it seems more like they're using this as an excuse to target pro-Palestinian protesters on local college campuses so far. That's all I've seen anyway. But you know, what's next? He's gonna back off on the crypto stuff. By the way, that clip, every time I see that on ABC where they're like, he's greeted by 3 new individuals, one of them including a giant. Who's that really tall guy?
Yeah, he's about 7'2". He's probably like played center for the Knicks with Bill Bradley or something. I don't know. It's going back a bit. Yeah. I mean, there he is. It's Jeff. So, yeah, a lot of promises, you know, and that's it. That's it. Would you have voted for him or bothered to vote if he wouldn't have said those things? He probably would have lost a lot of votes. Those actually moved first-time voters, those issues. They moved people to the polls who had not participated in previous elections. Those issues did. And is that any different than Barack Obama saying, on day one, I'm going to bring the troops home from Iraq and Afghanistan? It's no different. I don't see a difference. But Trump got in because he was meant to be the antidote or the antithesis of the habitually pathologically lying Barack Obama. Okay? That was the contrast. That was the sales pitch, right? It was like that versus that. This is different than that. That was the pitch. So that's the way I look at it. If you say the right things, you can get the votes. We all know that. We just thought that this time, this guy wasn't in the system. He wasn't part of the swamp. So there was a better chance, we hoped, that he could do the things he said he was going to do. And so people took a shot on him.
Yeah.
Once, twice. In some cases, voted for him 3 times.
Yeah. After Warp Speed, you know, after Warp Speed, still got a second chance because the alternative was so odious and so bothersome and so tiresome and so in your face. It was just like that whole 4 years under whoever was puppeting Biden was just so browbeating and ridiculous. It was like we basically have to vote for Donald Trump at this point. And then they do the fake shooting on his ear, and it was like, oh my God, he is in. This is happening unless they actually take him out. But this looks like it's happening. So much fakery, so much bullshit, propping up everybody that came in on his cabinet. They all pretended like they were podcasters for a year. That was some lulz, wasn't it? Oh yeah, we'll go on your X Space. We'll go on your podcast. Now where do you go? You go to Tucker Carlson, maybe, if you want to get in that crap show. That is quite the crap show right now. Have you noticed this week how conservatives hate Tucker Carlson all of a sudden? And then now there's a sub-fracturization between Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes. And now Nick Fuentes is going after Tucker Carlson. And he's dragging in a lot of people that are newly skeptical about Israel. And now Tucker Carlson is facing some back and forth, you know, then and now videos where he's stepping on his own story about knowing whether his dad was in the CIA or not. And Fuentes is jumping all over it. So there's like and this is just, you know, it's great. I love the drama. I'm totally enjoying watching it, but at the same time, it's like it's further fracturing what was the new conservative movement. Just like back in the old days, just like Tea Party, just like Occupy. As soon as something becomes big enough, all this money starts floating in, and new narratives start floating in, and the wrestling matches begin, and it's a mess right now. It's a total mess. And then on the other side, I also noticed the like blue check mark people that just MAGA to the core. They've got these really interesting like threads they're posting about just like how great Marco Rubio is. And
Oh, really?
oh yeah, this is crazy, dude. Let me actually share this to you. You want a good laugh? I'll share this.
What is this? Some kind of like anime fetish type,
wish.
niche
I
market
wish.
or something?
It's in the backstage there if you want to put it up.
Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up then. Let's have a look at this.
It's pretty funny.
Add to the stage. Yeah, let's try to bring this up if I can. Before presenting the screen. Okay. I don't know what's asking. Oh yeah, okay. Let's make some space for that. There we go. Here it is.
Okay, so
walk
this
us
is
through
one of
this.
those
Walk us through.
that I follow for fun. I like to know what these blue check MAGA accounts are talking about. So Nas here says Marco Rubio's interview is going viral. It's not about defense spending. The Secretary of State isn't talking defense budgets. He's revealing jaw-dropping facts about underground warfare and nuclear strikes that almost no Americans know about. You won't believe what you're about to hear.
Whoa, underground warfare?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, go back. I just want to point out something, and please don't think this is terrible of me, but it might be. Bring Marco up center screen here. Just okay. Are you guys Star Trek fans? Any Trekkies?
Sure.
You know what I'm about to say, don't you? He wants to be president badly in 2028. And what I'm saying is we cannot have a Vulcan as president. That's what I'm saying. Look at those things, man.
Yes.
This is not...
I was thinking more like a Ferengi from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think, it could be Ferengi as well. I mean, in terms of the Vulcans are tall, aren't they? Normally, they're sort of like 6'3" and above. So yeah, maybe a Ferengi or
and
sort
far
of
more diplomatic than this guy.
Or some bizarre
Ferengi
intergalactic chimera of a mix, maybe because human Vulcan as well. They mixed.
Yeah, bad president either way. That's a scary thought.
So, what's the basis of this? What kind of interview is this? What is this bombshell that Rubio is dropping?
Well, here's where it gets cool. First, we have to give Marco the fetus. We have to make him seem way cooler than he is. So, number one, Rubio now holds two positions simultaneously: Secretary of State and National Security Advisor simultaneously. First person since Kissinger in '75 to have done this. Trump also made him acting USAID administrator and acting National Archivist.
Ooh,
four roles for this one guy. Can you believe it?
Marco, he's carrying 4 jobs.
Yeah.
I mean, he must be talented. He must be good.
Here's a good one. This get ready to laugh. Here's what most people don't know. Israel had been bombing Iran for 10 days before the U.S. got involved. Trump's strikes weren't starting a war. They were ending one.
Oh, yeah.
The operation gave Israel an off-ramp to achieve their objectives and stop.
Genius. Absolute genius. In fact, the woman giving this interview, she could be a character on Star Trek as well.
Yeah.
Can we rewind that to the beginning? That Aryan Barbie, and just have a look at that. I mean,
let's talk about the ceasefire. As of now, while we're talking, this situation is so
I
fascinating.
think she got a great look for the Enterprise. I can see her on deck with one of those tight Uhura sort of outfits.
Yeah, your targeting officer probably. She'd probably be the one,
Targeter.
Yeah, targeter. It's like Sarah Adams.
Yeah, Starfleet Command targeter. I think she looked at, I mean, the two of them, are we watching a Star Trek sort of prequel here? I mean, is that what's happening? Because, and then J.D. Vance can't stop talking about UFOs. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
Something's going on here. Like, what's going on here?
They tried to tell us that, some scientists said this thing in the space looks like it could be a UFO, and there's all this stupid news about that. And then a Russian scientist came out last week and was like, "You guys are insane. This is completely ludicrous. Why are you saying this to the population there?"
They're just getting ready for the ultimate distraction in case the people won't stop asking questions about Epstein. Here come the alien disclosures.
He's calling her the Borg photon. She's in there.
She does look assimilated, doesn't she?
Straight away, assimilate or die. J.D. Vance seems completely manufactured. If so, I want a refund. I think he needs to be sent back for a replacement. If he's manufactured, send him back. Recall the VP. I want my money back on J.D. I thought he was smart.
Yeah. This thing goes on. There's a number of
what are they going on there? What was that one? It said 0 American casualties. What's this? 30 Tomahawk missiles. Genius. Look at this. Right.
So, like, everywhere I look on accounts like this, there's weird little like counter narratives like this that are custom made for like the MAGA boomer crowd, I guess. I can't really figure it out, but they're just these, like, the threads are the perfect way to push this to people, low information people that want to just, trust the plan. Like, these are great for that. Trump's strategy, surgical precision with defined limits. Mission, 3 nuclear sites only. Timeline, 48 hours from strike to ceasefire. Saturday, nuclear facilities struck. Monday, ceasefire announced. No regime change. Boom. America. MAGA, right? It's all that simple. That's all you got to know. Just this little thread here.
There's these accounts, and like they're either pumping up Elon or they're pumping up Trump, and it's just so fake.
Yeah.
It's so fake. And look at the engagement they're getting on these. I mean, crazy numbers, huh?
Oh, it's insane. And you could literally take this thread and turn it into a graphic novel, into a comic book. I swear. Just ask AI to do it. Someone could go to Grok and say, hey, take this thread by Nas and turn it into a graphic novel using, all of the talking points that are in all the steps. And you'd get something the size of a comic book. They're quite literally taking fake analysis, like CIA scripted analysis of major geopolitical events and turning them into a freaking comic book.
Narco Rubio, that's one of his nicknames.
That's a good one.
It's got a history. Looks like, it says Ian Taff, one of our commenters here, looks like the White House children are all scrambling for the top jobs. I mean, it's not a very deep bench if you think about it. It's not. I mean, neither would the Democrats didn't have a deep bench either, but I think Trump's bench is even thinner, as we know. Here we go. Q said they were leaving for Israel for last. Okay. I think Q is run by Israel, personally, because when they busted 4chan, did you see all the Israeli intelligence?
It was full of it.
And so where was all the Q coming from? Q drops are coming from 4chan and 8chan. Where are all the mass shooters posting all their manifestos? 4chan and 8chan.
There were a whole bunch of FBI email addresses in there too.
So that's your hive of mass shooter narrative data, 4chan and 8chan and Israeli Q drops to keep people on board with the Trump psyop. I mean, beam me up, Patrick, says Laura. Yeah, I'm feeling like that might be a good deal, actually. Infotainment, yeah, or valuetainment. What a great name for a channel, valuetainment.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's very gripping, isn't it?
Shrewd, definitely.
He's a shrewd businessman. Okay, here we go. Q might be right. The Israeli continuum. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, this is like QAnon style cope with these Twitter threads, these mega Twitter threads here. All South Florida Trump migrants, including Trump, Bondi, Rubio, Patel, are all involved in trafficking from South America to South Florida. I don't know. We don't have any receipts for that, but these days, anything's possible. I sort of doubt it. I think what's going on here is pretty clear. I think we've named it. I think we've named it here. There's a lot of angling to get a ticket into the underground bunker cities. So all those missile silos that have been converted into apartments underground, have you seen those? Mm-hmm. The ICBM missile silos, the Cold War ones have been decommissioned. I guess rich people can buy property down there just in case. I mean, if you've got a spare couple million.
Well, I think those are actually a little passé these days because you've got Elon Musk with the Boring Company, right? He can just drill you a big, giant hole in the ground and you can build something fancy, you know, Wi-Fi, 55-inch TV, you know, all that stuff. So, you know, I think a lot of those old things have fallen into disrepair and they're just building new ones at a rate that is hard to even fathom.
His company, that Boring Company, is hitting the skids. Have you read?
Oh,
They're not doing well. They've only got, none of the cities want any of these hyperloops. The only one they've built anything in is Las Vegas, and they only have 4 miles of operational track. And they have slated like, you know, 30 or 40 miles or 80 miles or something. And they've only, and of the 4, only a couple of miles aren't quite operational. So he's only like done a couple of miles in the whole country. And they've managed to eat up something like, I'll get the story in a minute because I bookmarked that because it's just so classic.
And this can't be what it appears to be because every other company that Elon Musk runs, as it were, or pretends to run, is related to the military. So they're clearly using this company for some sort of unknown military application, and his real purpose is not to build these hyperloop tunnels. That was just some sort of like, you know, cover operation.
I agree. The cities don't deserve them. You hear me, American cities? You don't deserve these. Do you know why? Because you've allowed your cities to fall into decrepitude and disrepair and a zombie apocalypse. And if you put people on any sort of public transit, sorry, everybody already knows you might get fentanyl death just from sitting in an enclosed space with some of these zombies walking around in your cities now. So you build something nice and pretty like that with a, you know, good, glorious goal. Sorry, is it going to go through Oakland? Because that place is a crime-infested shithole now, and you're going to end up with a bunch of fentanyl zombies and thugs and armed gangsters on your, you know, your little hypertube.
Hey, don't talk about Oaktown like that.
It's gotten bad, man. Once you go over the
hammer time,
if you're hood adjacent and you go the wrong direction, it's going to be a bad day. Really bad.
Okay, here we go. Hyperloop, Boring Company turning into a $900 million flop. Okay. Nearly a decade after Elon Musk launched Boring Company, interesting name, the promises of ultra-fast Hyperloop transportation, the tunneling venture has little to show. Despite pitches to all of these different cities, I'll show you all the pitches actually and bring this up on screen. It's kind of interesting actually. What has actually been achieved. So they burned through $1 billion, okay, and what have they got to show for it? Apparently very little. So all of these cities, here we go, bring this up on screen. So all of these cities, I think you've got, it's interesting who's signed up for it here. We'll just, let me take that comment down for a moment. Okay, so proposed and dug. So you see the black bars are proposed, and on the bottom is the miles, and then the blue is dug. What's actually been dug? Okay, so Las Vegas Loop, the only project. Okay, so they have dug, apparently, these maniacs have dug 60 miles underneath the city of Las Vegas. Who knows what that's going to do in terms of groundwater and other disasters, sinkholes, who knows? But only 4 miles are operational. So these clowns have dug 80 miles under Vegas, 70 miles, and only 4 are operational, right? And everything else is a big fat donut. Chicago, Dubai, Fort Lauderdale, Los Angeles, Nashville, San Bernardino, San Jose, Washington, D.C. How many people can these hyperloops carry? Like, how much better is it than the subway in terms of utility? I'm just asking for a friend, you know? It looks like a big F. Is it just me, or does this look like a big F? Is this this is like Solyndra level fail, right? It's just me.
I don't know, man. What
I don't trust that? Elon, I guess. Maybe Vigilant Fox can do a thread on this and say how great Boring Company is.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. How great Elon is.
Just need to, a little clever rebranding there, a little nudging, a little social media nudging.
And then Elon can retweet that thread and it will get, 20 million views. And that's kind of, how success is born on X.
Yeah, stocks will go up immediately without
it's completely organic. The whole thing is just so organic. It's delicious. It's so organic. So Boring Company, the investors are getting bored at this point and they're looking for an exit strategy. Well done, Elon. Whose idea was this? 80 miles of tunnels under dry desert city of Las Vegas. What could possibly go wrong?
Let me get this straight. I can't walk my dog on a trail in a national forest or take it to a beach. I can't dig on my property without contacting the EPA and the federal, state whatevers. I got to get all these licenses to, dig a swimming pool, do little things that aren't going to, potentially change the planet or cause unknown structural damage to the water table or something like that, right? But this guy, he can just, dig 80 miles under one of the biggest cities. Okay, how does that work? Like, we can't drive in certain places because there might be a turtle there, an endangered turtle, but this guy can dig 80 miles under the into the pizza crust. What the hell?
Well, here's a good comment from Zach. Those Chabad Lubavitch folks in Brooklyn are better tunnel diggers than the Boring Company. I come from a land down under. Have you seen that video parody of that? It's so hilarious.
Yeah, Zach called it.
Yeah, Zach, you got it, Zach. Absolutely. Chabad knows tunnels. Elon should have consulted them.
Yes.
So he deserves to fail because he did not bring in the experts, the guys who really know about tunnels in Brooklyn. Hyperloop projects, money laundering contracts. Yeah, probably. I think we're onto something here.
This is how Elon and possibly Trump paid for their hair.
Yeah. Yeah, and Gavin had one contract in L.A. That's for his gel.
Yeah. Gavin uses the industrial runoff from Elon and Trump's project and
barrels of it,
repurposes it into good hair gel.
Barrels of it comes in Port of LA.
I mean, I keep seeing Trump outside my porthole over here, and his hair hasn't changed. So,
think of the sinkholes that will occur. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about here. Ruckus, who had this Trump. There it is. Yeah, look at that. He's like a superhero. He just does everything. He's so versatile.
Yeah, that's
online.
the Aquaman pose right there.
Aquamaga.
Yeah, let's look at what else is our audience saying here. 100 wire points deducted at John. I don't know what John put there, but here we go. Dug all the tunnels and met Frank Herbert's dune worms.
There you go.
Well, this is
Trump is the Kwisatz Shatra.
I just can't believe someone would let an unproven thing dig 80 miles of tunnels underneath Las Vegas, a major city. I just can't believe that.
Are we not concerned that could, cause an earthquake or a collapse or
just the water is scarce,
Yeah.
in Nevada,
Yeah,
just a bit.
completely change the water table there and make the city uninhabitable? I mean, it's wild. Like, what are you guys doing? It's the same with the sky stuff. They do all this stuff in the sky. They tell us they're not doing stuff in the sky. Things start going bad, and all of a sudden they deploy, Augustus Dorco to tell you, yeah, we are doing stuff in the sky, but don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
They're probably terraforming. And I don't mean like to anticipation of an alien species, which is what ancient aliens would do, but they're probably doing all of these things in a concerted effort to literally change the planet. You do all of these bizarre things on a grand scale like this, changing the air, changing the water, changing the earth beneath us. What do you think is going to happen? I mean, the world is headed for some serious changes, is what I suspect.
So what's he saying here? That this a sort of heady political comment here by Marcos Toledo. The U.S. has been a melodrama since its birth. Bad theater, as Alexander de Tocqueville wrote. He found more for the theater than for real life democracy in America. Well, many have said such things in the past. So does the Washington tunnel lead to Tel Aviv? That's a little bit of a long tunnel. I don't think so. I think if the Washington tunnel leads anywhere, it's probably to, I don't know, Columbus, Ohio. Is that where Lex Wexner lives?
Yeah.
Columbus, or maybe Jersey with Trump. I mean, Trump would dig a tunnel to Jersey. Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, Atlantic
It'd
City.
be worth doing. How about a hyperlink between Jersey and Washington, D.C.?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they have a tunnel that goes to where the nuclear submarines could show up, and they could take them to Tel Aviv.
Yeah, we're going to teach Putin a lesson. Don't mess with the USA.
How weird is that, Pat, that geopolitical events are happening, at least we're to believe are happening because of tweets and social media posts. I mean, this is game over, man. If like world leaders are going to deploy nuclear submarines over some mean tweets, this is not good.
Yeah, here we go. We got some people who know the area. There is no water table there, says Sam as I am. Lake Mead goes down low enough. Yes, it does. Las Vegas will be abandoned. No Lake Mead, no Las Vegas. That is an actual risk.
Yeah. Have you seen Lake Mead lately?
I saw it a few years ago, and it looked very low.
They keep finding all the casino mobsters' corpses because the lake has dried up so bad. They're finding all the people in barrels that were killed like in the 70s and stuff. It's crazy how many dead bodies they've found in the dried up lake bed. Yeah,
it's pretty grim. Actually, they're diverting water from the Colorado River as well. So, I mean, Vegas, it's talk about a bubble there. There's no water. So, run the showers all day there at the casinos. I mean,
yeah. Enough water to fill the swimming pools at the casinos, too. Sometimes.
Here's one for J.D. Vance. The aliens need optimum conditions on Earth.
Yeah, they're bringing if Marco Rubio's going to bring his Romulan friends to Earth, they'll need to terraform.
Oh, my gosh. We have such a circus on our hands here. It says Trump is talking like he's a king. I hate to sound like a Democrat. Prematurely.
Remember all the Caesar stuff in Trump season 1 in 45 presidency? There was a lot, especially coming from the sort of oddly evolved and manufactured alt-right. There was a lot of Caesarian imagery and meme stuff going on with Trump.
Yeah, indeed. Well, enough of Nevada here. Putin's shirt saying every project proposed is a money laundering scheme in the U.S. Nothing ever materializes, while third world countries like Laos have high-speed trains already thanks to China. True. Africa is going to have high-speed trains before the U.S., I predict. Cape Town to Cairo. If Israel doesn't wreck Egypt, it's going to be a bullet train. So yeah, that's what's happening, folks. Yep. Haven't heard much from Elon Musk lately. He's what happened to his Wonder Party? What happened to the America Party? I was so captivated by the name. I thought, wow, this guy's creative team working on that.
He's pimping his AI, Patrick. So he's got like those new AI companions, like a boyfriend and a girlfriend for you. He made one for kids. He made a special character for kids. And then the D-bag took the exact same character that he made for kids and made a bad version of the character intentionally not for kids. So you see the same like little cartoon squirrel character, but swearing. Because like that's not going to lead to any confusion or problems down the road, right? And I guess now he wants everybody to sign up for the new super ultra mega Grok version, where now Grok is creating videos. So now you can text prompt Grok and have it create deep fake videos of Donald Trump with a micro, kind of thing. I like that video. That's never mind.
It's going to end up these companions. You guys know where this is heading, obviously, and it's going to put OnlyFans content creators, probably a lot of them, out of business. Probably, yeah.
We actually last night on Boiler Room we went through a new Microsoft survey / article thing. Microsoft put out a article giving their list of the top 40 jobs that will be gone in the age of AI, the top 40 most at-risk jobs, and then the top 40 most safe for now jobs. And OnlyFans was in there. So was analysts, journalists, hosts, hostesses, concierges, like all pretty much everyone we know does.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of content. There already is a lot of fake content. I mean, YouTube. I think YouTube's going to get destroyed from people-less content. And if you look at all the scams they're pushing for, courses and products, and so what do they call them? Personless content. I can't remember what it's called. There's a
Faceless.
term. Faceless content. That's most of what's on YouTube, and they've gamed the algorithms and the whole thing. I mean, humans don't get priority, clearly, on YouTube. So yeah, I'm somehow on a blacklist, but faceless content. And the faceless, all they do is copy the script of all the other videos and launch the same script on multiple channels with different voice.
And AI AI is instructing people to do this. That's why people are doing this. They wake up in the morning and they say, "Hey, ChatGPT, what's popular on YouTube today?" And it gives them the top 5 topics, and it says, "All right." Then you tell it, "I'm interested in this one. Write me a script for it for a faceless video." It does that. And if you're paying for the AI, Super Grok, you can say, "Okay, write me, a video clip that goes with this script." Boom, easy. Upload.
You don't even have to do all that anymore, Hesher. Google, ironically enough, because Google owns YouTube, has something called Notebook LLM. It's a language learning model powered notebook. And now you can give it a link to a YouTube video. So as soon as 21 Wires, Sunday Wire's done, anybody in the world could take that link, drop the link to the Google's LLM notebook, and then in like a millisecond, it's got all the information. And then in one click, you can convert that into an audio podcast. You can tweak who's reading it. And it's a whole new podcast created out of all of the information presented in that YouTube video. But not only that, they released a new feature where with one click, you can now create a faceless video. So now it can take everything in this video, create a new faceless video with slides and words and text on the screen and different voices, just like that. You don't even have to tell it what to do. You just click a button and it's already done. Wild.
Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, the America Party started by a South African. That's interesting. So that thing's like gone nowhere, and everybody was saying, "Oh, this is a game changer. Oh, Elon's going to disrupt it." And where is he? It's dead. It's not happening. The America Party. You know how he did the logo on X? You guys remember that? He was tripping on something, could have been like microdosing on DMT, or he's on ketamine or something. And he tweeted out on his X account or Twitter account, we said, hey, does anybody have any ideas for a logo for X? I'm taking suggestions. And then somebody sent in the Sans Unicode X. That's the free Microsoft font that's loaded on every computer. That's the current logo for X. Some idiot sent Elon Microsoft Sans Unicode X. Yeah. Sent it to Elon on a reply on that tweet. And Elon's, I really like this one. I really like this one. This is cool. Yeah, that's free font. Microsoft MS Unicode X. It's garbage. I mean, it's on every single PC. It's like so that's how he does stuff. So hey, does anybody have ideas for my new political party? I'm going to pump a few billion into it. Let's think of a really cool name. How about, let me think. Oof, get my buddies around. How about the America Party? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds really cool. Yeah. Elon, you're a genius. Elon was probably raging on ketamine or something when he was probably thought, wow, I can't believe it's so easy. I thought of this great America Party. It was right there under our nose the whole time. This is how the creative juices flow, guys. I mean, the rich get richer. Anyway, let's see what else is going on here. Well, this is an interesting comment. U.S. Navy vet says, become a New York City union iron worker. Become a trade that will never go out of style, will always be in need. My son is a union iron worker. Get a real job. He's not half wrong there. I mean, plumbers, iron workers, scaffolders, always going to need these. Always going to need these. I mean, the robots haven't replaced, they're not there yet. Maybe one day they will. Robots will be doing all this shit one day. Who knows? But there's still brick and mortar jobs out there, and they pay very well, and you can't be replaced by a faceless content creator. Walls need to be painted. Stain needs to be applied. Chimneys need to be swept, although you could probably get a robot to do that.
Smart cities for all the slaves will need to be built by people, at least to start.
Yep, indeed. Plumbing is so 1800s. You say that until it doesn't work, my friend, Mr. Marcuson. Until it doesn't work, then it's very 21st century, isn't it? Unless you live off grid and you're camping and you've got compost toilets. Well, it's a different conversation. Bricklaying.
Yeah, the list that Microsoft gave out, just to give a couple examples on it, I pretty much rattled them all off in 3 breaths last night on Boiler Room if you want to hear them all. But the ones that they say are considered safer from AI disruption for now are things like that, like bridge and lock tenders, cement masons, construction laborers, mining, dredging, drywalling, earth drillers, oil and gas type of stuff, roofers, structural iron and steel workers. There you go to your comment. Those are the ones that they say are pretty good for now. So those of you young kids out there listening to Sunday Wire at homeschool, you might want to think about the trades, especially if you're in your teenage years. If you're under 12 or under, 13 or under, start thinking outside the box. Start learning what's coming and start thinking outside the box, because going and getting $200,000 in debt in college is looking to be a really, really bad proposition. I don't care if you think you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer. You got to watch out right now.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that one of the oldest professions in the world will not be replaced by robots very soon anyways.
Oh,
yeah. Or AI companions. I mean, so here's Putin's shirt. I'm wondering if this account is actually linked to Putin, because this is some serious inside baseball here, folks. Elon stole all his rocket and Starlink tech from old Soviet tech. He was in Ukraine after the 2014 coup, cannibalizing the Soviet rocket industry. Elon's only claim to fame is getting large U.S. subsidies. That's a pretty damning indictment. Those are serious accusations coming from Putin's shirt. Do you guys think there's any truth in that? Have you heard of this?
No, that's new to me. But knowing Putin's shirt, I don't take it with a grain of salt, and I would not be surprised at all.
Worst logo ever. Yeah, you better believe it. And the worst rollout, too. I saw some of the other suggestions that came in. They had beautiful animated X. It would have been cool. Nope, let's go for the free font because I was having a good trip. That's the rationale. He was on one. Elon was on one. We're going with Microsoft Unicode. And we're not going to animate it. It's not better than the bird. I mean, the Twitter bird is far more superior. That's why we have it on our outro in the shows. We still like the Twitter bird. People still say tweet. I think it was
intentional, Patrick, because it's cold, it's impersonal, it's utilitarian. It's very Elon Musk, to be honest.
Hold my beer. I'm heading off to boil pasta, says in your face. That's something AI can't do. Can't hold your beer and boil pasta. So, yeah, there's all such of stuff going on in here. Yeah, you better believe it. BBC getting worried about how audience figures on YouTube. I think they're past that point. If BBC had it their way, they'd launch their own Facebook. Yep. They'd ban everything else and launch their own social media platform. That's how these people think.
We've got more smart people weighing in. Wolf Rayet says it's true. He bought Russian engines in the early formation of SpaceX. So,
okay, there we are. So there's some truth to that. Yep. So these aren't baseless rumors flying around in our comment threads. Thank you. Oh, here we go. Elton, I think he meant to say Elon. Elton's brother Errol. Maybe is that Errol is his father. Anyway, spoke of this when he interviewed by George Galloway. Okay, so more truth to it.
All right.
More truth.
Plus, we all know where all rocket technology originated from, right?
That's right. Paperclip, right?
No, J.D. Vance says UFOs. No, the Nazis, yeah. So, what J.D. Vance is blowing it. You just do a Pence, keep your mouth shut, and you might get a good run in 2028. I mean, if he says too many stupid things, that's just going to be opposition campaign ads, right?
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. He's just racking up opposition campaign ads right now. Just zip it. Don't comment. Applaud at Congress. Just do all the stuff. Try not to talk too much. Anyway, who's Thiel going to back in 2028? Peter Thiel. I mean, he's got such high hopes for the human race, as you guys saw recently.
Maybe it's going to be little Marco.
Little narco. Yes. Well, I think the better question is, who does Israel want?
Mm-hmm.
Who is delivered for Israel? Marco. They want to get that Ferengi Vulcan hybrid in there, I think.
Oh, hey, Patrick. I got a comment I wanted to read you that's not on the streams here after this one.
Okay. Yeah, you can fire that up in the back chat there. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna wrap up this show as Nazi anti-gravity drives, and there are no bases on Antarctica.
Let me read you this real quick, Patrick. This is from Creative Accidents. He's talking about the Columbia lawsuit v. Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know this until just now. Columbia agreed. He linked me this article. I'm just going to read it. Columbia agreed on Wednesday to pay a $200 million settlement to the federal government in order to dismiss a Title 9 anti-Semitism or Title 6, I don't know, whatever, violation, and an additional $21 million into a class claims fund to directly compensate Columbia employees who experienced anti-Semitism on campus. So I don't. what the hell is that? So they agreed to pay $200 million to the federal government and $20 million to themselves. Is that how that, if I took the legalese out, is that what that means?
Yep, that's kind of a payoff.
Okay.
It's kind of a payoff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's not the worst of it either. The worst of it is, you want to hear something that's really going to let's leave the best for last. Do you know who Barry Weiss is?
Oh yeah.
Can you name anybody more annoying? I thought it was harder to be more annoying than Ben Shapiro in the media world, but Barry Weiss has definitely eclipsed even the annoyance factor of Ben Shapiro. And her outlet's called The Free Press. Imagine appropriating the term free press for your media outlet, and meanwhile you're flacking for a war with Iran and backing a genocide in Gaza. So she's managed to, in some acquisition, selling The Free Press for like hundreds of millions of dollars or something, like in the Paramount merger type thing with CBS, that she's going to get this huge cash windfall and end up on the board of CBS. So influencing editorial content, and then across all of those other media properties underneath, maybe Netflix is in there, who knows? So she goes from being a below average, mediocre, fake journalist now to, through a buyout of a website that I don't know anybody that seriously reads that. It's not getting nearly the traction that, let's say, Drop Site News gets, which literally was just launched a couple months ago. So Barry Weiss launched that free press off of the Twitter files. Elon handpicked her, along with Michael Schellenberger, Matt Taibbi, and all these other handpicked journalists, to go through the Twitter files. Some of them did really good work, definitely Matt Taibbi and some of the others. But Barry Weiss was given that sort of primo job, and she launched her The Free Press off the back of that. And she's just a couple of years later managed to pawn it off for like a couple $100 million. It doesn't make any sense. This is a scam. So it's kind of like an organized deal to put an operative up to a very high position and flush with money. For doing what? Performing what service to the public? What? Delivering the truth?
Propaganda mouthpiece, sounds like.
Yeah, propaganda pays. I've always said this. If you're willing to prostitute yourself at the altar of mammon and do propaganda, you can make a lot of money. There's plenty of high-paid jobs. Plenty. Sky's the limit.
She's curated a very specific audience ready to go for whoever wants to plug in their propaganda.
Yeah, so anyway, if that doesn't depress you, I don't know what will. Anyway, that's I'll try to get the details on that. But yeah, I mean, someone says, "Are you jealous, Patrick?" I can't really be jealous of someone like that, because I regard them in the same bracket as CNN and all of the Rupert Murdoch and the mainstream. It's the same. It's no different. So am I jealous of Fox News? I don't think so. What we're pointing out here is how the system rewards propaganda. And what does that propaganda do? It creates wars. It conducts genocide, it does holocausts, and it then covers it up and denies it and makes the public think that there's nothing to see here. Oh, Hamas is under the hospital. That's why I had to flatten all 40 hospitals, says Barry Weiss. That's what we're saying. Yeah, so it's pretty shocking stuff. Anyway, unbelievable. And what's even crazier is how some of these people LARPed as conservatives or managed to like pawn themselves off as conservatives for a while. They got in the slipstream there, and now they're out of that slipstream really quick. That's kind of Elon's one of those people. Elon's one of them. So whoever jumped on his bandwagon is probably a lot like him, I would think. So,
like identity politics surfing, sitting there waiting for the big wave. Get right in there in the right time, ride the wave, get back to shore, do it again.
Yeah, here we go. Putin shirt. Fox News attracts the dumbest commentators I've ever read and watched. The hopium about Trump's terror policies are laughable. I know they're really going overtime trying to pump up the economy story. Have you guys noticed this?
Yeah. I've seen similar threads to that Marco Rubio one that I put up about the economy and stopping wars. Trump said, I believe he said, I'm paraphrasing, I've stopped about a war a month since I've been president. And I just about fell out of my chair laughing when I read that.
Oh my God. No, he said, India is they're not buying Russian oil anymore after I spoke to them. And then the Indians have come out and said, wait a minute, what the hell are you talking about? We're buying Russian oil. Russia's giving us a discount thanks to your price cap, America and Europe. And India's reselling it to Europe on a markup. So Modi's like, there's no way we're giving up Russian oil. We're making tons of money out of this. So forget it. That ain't happening. And then Trump says, I stopped the war between India and Pakistan. They were fighting each other, and I stepped in. I made a call. Frankly, nobody else could have done it but me, but I made the call, and the war stopped. And then the Indians have come out and said, no, we never spoke to him about that. He's just literally making stuff up. He's just taking credit for anything that looks like it's remotely positive in the world, and then denying his involvement in anything that's a debacle. Anyway, honestly.
Yes, he's been pumping the economy. He went and visited with the SEC. No, not the SEC, the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, because Trump is desperately trying to get Jerome Powell fired or out. And I guess there's a big project, a renovation project. They've been doing some building and construction, and there was some questions or concerns about the budget. And so they thought there might have been some shenanigans. So basically Trump was trying to find out if Powell did something wrong or dirty. So he went and inspected the site, and they had somebody look into it. He had that senator guy, Ted Kane. What was that guy's name? I can't remember. Anyways, but like Trump had something in his pocket, and he surprised Powell while they were doing a tour with their little construction helmets on. And he was saying, oh, well, yeah, we just found out how bad it is. I got the numbers right here. And Powell's like, I didn't hear about that. Let me see. And he pulls out his glasses. He caught him off guard. It was all like a publicity stunt. And he's been running around saying how great the economy is and that we should lower the interest rates. And that way him and his buddies can make a killing in the stock market, basically. We'll see, though.
Yeah, he says, well, Jerome Powell is blaming everything on Powell, like the Federal Reserve. Oh, interest rates. So, yeah, they want to basically get the country on some cheap crack, basically, drop those interest rates down. So just this comment here, I'm just marrying up the slide with the comment. Steve Witkoff says there's no starvation in Gaza. Even the Israeli POW's relatives don't believe him. Oh, my God. What do you think of this guy? I mean, this is a real shyster here, this guy, a real con artist, literally a panhandler from New York.
I think if this country took its constitution seriously, he would be in prison, is what I think.
So he's going to the Russians for a meeting, and the Russians are like, so what? Just put him there, and they'll assign some people to him. Lavrov will go in there for 20 minutes, nod and be polite, and then just say, yep, there's the caviar, there's the vodka, and there's the girls. Go knock yourself out, Steve. You got a flight in the morning. Have fun. But the Russians aren't taking this guy seriously. He doesn't care. He works for the Israelis, quite obviously. So that's why if this is the guy in charge of the Russia-Ukraine thing, no wonder it's a failure. I mean, no diplomatic experience. That's why we love him. He's not tainted by all that experience. That's why we love him. He's a regular guy. Tucker did a lot to pump him up, by the way. a little prematurely with that interview. That was a little embarrassing. I would have words with Tucker about this if I was able to. I would have a few private words with Tucker over the pumping up of Steve Witkoff prematurely. Now let's have another interview, Tucker, with Witkoff. Let's do another one. It's time for a follow-up interview, Tucker. You guys up for I mean, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? The follow-up interview?
Yeah, especially with some of Tucker's more recent commentary, you know. He's new to this. By the way, Tucker is new to commenting on Israel at all. He's only been doing it since October. You know, we all noticed it, and it was like, okay, cool. A larger voice is finally catching up. But, you know, now with this whole blow up with Fuentes, like he's called him out on that too. It's just like, what the hell? Like I experienced the wrath of the ADL, the SPLC, the mainstream media for my comments. And then, you know, you and Candace come along when it can't be denied anymore. And you finally start asking the questions, and, you know, that's all fine and good, but I'm the bad guy. I'm the weird gay kid in mom's basement.
Look, here's the problem, guys. And this is the comment here. No way Lavrov, Putin, or Medvedev will meet with Witkoff after Trump's disastrous diplomacy of last month. Yeah, probably right. But here's the problem, and this is the whole thing with the whole media game, is that so Tucker. I still think Tucker has done some absolutely valuable and brilliant moves. One of them is hanging Ted Cruz out to dry publicly and Christian Zionism in a way that it's just gold, and that will just keep giving that gift. And so there's a lot of things to thank and acknowledge with Tucker. But what Tucker was trying to do is the friendly podcast circuit, but he has to do the tough follow-ups. He's got to go after people if they don't agree to come on. He needs to bring Witkoff onto the program and challenge him about what he's done since the last interview. That's what I want to see from Tucker. And Tucker is well within his ability to do that because he used to do more hard interviews when he was a mainstream media journalist. But the friendly podcast circuit, the rules are can't be adversarial. So is that going to do? I don't think so. We need more. Someone's got to do the tough grind, right? It's not going to be Theo Vaughn. It's not going to be Joe Rogan or anybody else who's high. You know, it's going to have to be someone like a Tucker who used to actually work in media, who knows how this goes. Because these people are not being held to account. They just disappear. They get pumped up and they disappear. And you see the trail of dead bodies behind them between Beijing and Moscow and Tel Aviv. So I expect more from Tucker. And he's capable of it. He can do it. Does he want to do it? That's the question. I know he's probably under a lot of heat, probably under a lot of pressure, the powers of cancellation. And we acknowledge that. But certain members of the Trump administration have been allowed to get away with murder with very little pushback. I'm surprised there is no more. Where's the Democrats? I mean, talk about easy shots. I mean, what's going on with that? It's bizarre. They're firing fake shots at Phantom Menaces for like 10 years with Russiagate, and real stuff's happening, and they're doing nothing. Little crying about Epstein files, but nothing. Weak.
They're just showing their true colors by inaction, you know, right now. Open goals. And then the Republicans did that too, quite often. They would only play around in the culture war stuff and in the immigration stuff, and that was it. They didn't want anything to do with any of the open goals that were left to them, because all the open goals are narratives that run on another country's collaboration with our CIA.
Here's another one. Where did Kellogg go? You remember Kellogg Cornflakes? The other Ukrainian guy, he's disappeared. What happened to him? Has he been hidden in a cornflakes box or something? Where's Kellogg? What happened to him? He's gone. Oh my gosh. Do you remember Barry Weiss on Rogan? I do. I have nightmares about it. So yeah, Kamala's memoirs. Yep, those are coming out.
I heard Kamala's not going to run for governor of California. So California, you may breathe a sigh of relief and brace yourself for the next election.
Yeah, a lot of black men are happy about that.
Yeah.
She's putting all the super predators away for cannabis possession. That's what she did when she was AG. Yeah, she was going to get gifted that job because Newsom obviously is running for president. He's probably not going to finish his next term. I think that's the Democrats' guy. It's probably Newsom. They're like, we're going for white bread.
Yeah, well, he was on Sean Ryan's show recently, so that says something that supports your theory.
Oh, it's on Sean Ryan.
Yeah, Sean Ryan gave him a pistol, too. How about that?
Here's a gun.
Yeah, here's a gun. It's just for you. My buddies at Sig Sauer said you'd love this.
Yeah.
You better not drop it.
Yeah, just don't drop it.
Make sure the safety's on. Okay. What about Blinken? Blinken's not running for anything. He's running for the bathroom. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, anyway. Guys, yeah, so anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to leave it there. Your final thoughts. We're going to wrap up this illustrious episode of the Sunday Wire. And generally, I'll draw a line under this that I think Trump is just going to hit the wall by Christmas. I see nothing positive or redeeming at all. Just a lot of bluster, a lot of lies, a lot of cope from his surrogates. I got nothing positive to say. And I'm gonna end up agreeing with Democrats after not too distant future. The way things are heading, this is not good. Let's just do a whip around here. Ruckus, take us home.
Well, I think you're not giving Witkoff enough credit, Patrick, because clearly the powers that be, the current administration, believe in some sort of superpowers that the guy has that we don't know yet, undiscovered. Maybe he's ultimately going to be the one who brings peace to the Middle East and to Ukraine and ends all the wars and goes and straightens out the Taiwan and the China thing. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll see him as the Time Person of the Year and we'll learn everything about the guy. Until then, he's a complete unknown to me. He's a complete unknown to the geopolitical world. And yeah, he appears like he's out of his league, and perhaps is the right expression here. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this guy. It's almost like he's just like a chosen messenger. He brings some sort of secret handwritten note, possibly with a hand-drawn naked chick on it, to the various people around the world on Trump's behalf. And that's about it. I don't know. And Trump, I don't know what he's doing. By breaking all of his promises, he's certainly not making any he's continuously making what he refers to now as past supporters. That's his chosen term for the people who have questions about where he's taking the country, the direction, all the promises that he's made. Even Elon Musk has jumped ship. He's gone from jumping stage to jumping ship. He's no longer on board the Trump train. So we'll see where that leads. But I hope people have learned their lesson about voting. They better vote extra stupid, extra triple harder next time so that this doesn't happen again. But yeah, just kidding. Thanks for having me, Patrick. It's been a blast.
Absolutely. Ruckus, give us a shout out to your programming in the coming week, please.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of stuff with Weaponized News. You can find my Roundabout Ruckus stuff over at alternatecurrentradio.com. Usually looks something like that, and it's usually my most recent appearance from Weaponized News. Shout out to Sam Chaney and Weaponized News. Of course, Alternate Current Radio is where you'll find Daily Ruckus, you'll find The Boiler Room, Sunday Wire, Midweek Wire, all of this stuff, plus our friends, Mystical American Patriot Society, The Odd Man Out, and I help out with the graphics and stuff over there at the website. So if you like the way it looks, cool. That's great. If you don't like the way it looks, sorry. It is what it is. But yeah, thanks again for having me.
Thank you, Ruckus. And we'll throw the Daily Ruckus graphic as well up on screen here. This is a classic.
I really like that one. I hope you all like that one.
It's an absolute classic. It is a chitty chitty bang bang future dystopic depiction of something with Jason. Is that Jason in the? It looks like.
No, that's my avatar that I used to use when I was faceless. That's the Ruckus guy right there. Yeah. It's supposed to be a kind of a combination of like one side of the face is smiling, the other side is frowning, like the drama masks from theater.
Yeah,
but combined into one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he was holding a hammer there, though. A little bit disturbing.
He's actually usually carrying a firearm, to be honest with you.
Hesher, go ahead. Take us home.
Great show. Thanks for having us. And check out Boiler Room. We did one last night. It's up on the webpage right now, alternatecurrentradio.com. We do need your support. So if you want to support us, you find our support link over there in the main menu at the website. Many ways you can do that. And it is today, Patrick. Today is the 11th anniversary of Alternate Current Radio. We established the site 11 years ago today. It just happens to fall on a Sunday Wire broadcast day. So
today.
That's pretty big for all of us. So thank you for everything you've done and everything that you continue to do. You've been such an integral part of Alternate Current Radio, as well as all of you watching and listening on the podcasts. And just want to thank everybody for, sticking with us or joining us midstream or joining us recently. It's been a wild 11 years. I would have never thought 11 years ago that I would not be doing, what I had been doing for a career and would be doing this project. So it's been great. And if you haven't followed us yet, please do on Rumble. We're Boiler Room on Rumble. We're Alternate Current Radio on YouTube. I'm Hesher Media on X, and alternatecurrentradio.com is where you find us for staying in touch and all that. We got a Discord you could join. So that's it. Join us for Boiler Room, and we'll see you next week for more Sunday Wire.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and there's again a reminder of the Boiler Room, Alternate Current Radio. We've also got a link on the descriptions on Rumble and YouTube, as well as on the show page at 21stcenturywire.com. Check out ACR, the content, the programming, the people, the personalities, the community. It's all there. And support ACR as well. They need your help now more than ever. One of the last bastions of independent radio, but much, much more, of course. It's a vibrant, creative and political-minded community at Alternate Current Radio. So, gentlemen, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And we will speak to you soon. And hopefully we'll be able to delve into some interesting things in the coming weeks. We've had a couple of outstanding midweek wires, which have been broadcast live. So that's sort of going pretty well at the moment. And I'm really happy about the quality of the programming there. A big shout out to Freddie Ponton, who has been a great co-host on a number of those weeks. When he's been available, he's been absolutely brilliant, as have our guests that we've been able to bring on. So, and again, we'll keep you posted on what's happening. Thank you, gentlemen. Ruckus and Hesher, all the best. There they go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the A-team at ACR. I'm your host, Patrick Henningsen. That's all we've got time for today. And I want to remind people about the archive of the Sunday Wire. If you like this program, go back and binge watch. I'm sure you'll enjoy previous programs and shows. We've had some pretty epic coverage, monologues, guests, and incredible discussions and debates, especially during the second Overdrive segment. Go find that at 21st Century Wire, Sunday Wire Archives. Also available on iTunes and Spotify and your other fine podcasting platforms. And also, if you like what we do, if you like the content, you like the deep research articles that we're putting out daily at 21stcenturywire.com. You like the Midweek Wire, the Sunday Wire, support us. Go to 21st Century Wire, donate here. Upper left-hand corner, gold button, hit that. Different ways you can support us, either one-off donations, of which we get many, or better yet, subscribe and become a member. Take out a membership at 21wire.tv. That's the best way you can support us. It's about $5 a month. And listen, that goes a long way. So I know a lot of you listen and you aren't subscribers, please consider doing that. Go now to 21stcenturywire.com. Make that happen. You'll be supporting us as well as our whole team, and we need it. Trust me, we absolutely need it. We want to do a lot more, but we're going to need your support to do it. That's all we've got time for today. Again, this is the Sunday Wire. It's been a fantastic episode 557 of this weekly omnibus news analysis TV and radio program. I'm your host, Patrick Henningsen. It's been real. Thank you to our team as well, and we will see you when we see you. In the meantime, here is the music. Taking us out on the outro is the music of Joseph Arthur, our good friend and a great artist and a great inspiration, one of the great independent musicians and one of the greatest songwriters probably around today. And we're so pleased to be able to showcase some of his excellent creative endeavors like this song called Rise. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the midweek. Check us out Wednesday. All the best.
Always try to look around for a smile, 'cause maybe it'll come around, maybe it'll come around, maybe it'll come around. We can see over, we can see past, we can see forever, but can we make it last? We can go under, but we can be brave, holding our hearts up, trying to find someone to save. Rise when you hear the cries, and then you make the scene. Run through the hemispheres and learn to live your dream. Rise when you hear the cries, and then you make the scene. Run through the hemispheres and learn to live your dream. We can bear witness, we can be strong, past this isolation, and know we're left to belong. We can rejoice the fears that we had, as we're much more open to the ways we've been had, we've been had. Rise when you hear the cries, and then you make the scene. Sometimes love can make a fool out of you. Rise when you hear the cries, and then you make the scene. Run through the hemispheres and learn to live your dream. Rise when you hear the cries, and then you make the scene. Run through the hemispheres and learn to live your dream.
All of the pictures left unpainted, all of the games they left unplayed, all the laughter in the playground, all of the arts they never made. Ghost faces of a million Palestinian children. All of those voices left in silence, all with their names written in kind, lest their bodies pulled from rubble, lifeless empty dolls to find. Ghost faces of a million Palestinian children. What are the songs they've never written? What are the words they'll never sing? And the darkness of the nightmare, inescapable that rings. The ghost faces of a million Palestinian children. I hear the crying, helpless children, God's most precious and most dear. I hear them begging for the reason. How could you ever leave us here? I close the eyelids of a million Palestinian children. So what do we really stand for? Is this how our future's made? And when we ever find the courage to stand up unafraid, I tear away the persecution of the Palestinian children. Rise up and be the guardians of the Palestinian children. To respect our obligation, every creed and every nation, 'cause every soul deserves protection. Save the Palestinian children. Save the Palestinian children.